Like hundreds of millions of other Americans this morning, I woke up, made lunch for my son, helped my wife and he get ready to go to work at the school where they work, and sent my family off worried about what might happen to them today at school. Of course, this is all minor. This is all secondary to the real tragedy which took place in Uvalde, Texas yesterday, in which 19 students and 2 teachers were killed. That is the casualty figure at this point. 19, I think 2nd through 5th graders were gunned down at their school by a madman who bought semi-automatic, high-powered rifles on his 18th birthday and went there after killing his grandmother with the intent of killing kids. He was confronted by policemen outside, exchanged fire with them, and he still managed to fight his way into the building and to slaughter innocent children. This is the United States of America. This is where we live. This is us. Almost 40,000 Americans die every year from gunshot wounds, whether intentional or accidental, whether murder or suicide. Death by gun is the leading cause of death among young people in the United States of America. We had a mass shooting in Buffalo inspired by racist ideology promoted by the right and promoted by Fox News and other right-wing news outlets and pundits. We have this shooting which took place in Uvalde yesterday, which was made possible by our fealty to the absolute rights, or what we perceive to be the absolute rights guaranteed in the Second Amendment, which is not true, which has led to this situation in the United States of America. And half of the politicians in the United States Senate today are going to do nothing about it. They're going to pass not even the most basic of common sense gun control in the United States. No one here is talking about confiscating guns. We're merely talking about trying to make it harder for people who shouldn't have these weapons in their hands to have them in their hands. That's what we're talking about. And gun owners and non-gun owners should be able to come to some agreement about doing something about that, about keeping guns out of the hands of mentally unstable people, angry people, people who've lost their job, whatever it is. We should be able to come together in some kind of common sense gun legislation. As a matter of fact, the vast majority of Americans support common sense gun legislation. There's no reason that can't be done except for one thing, and that is that our politicians, many of them in the Republican Party, but some in the Democratic Party as well, owe a lot of loyalty to the National Rifle Association, the pro-gun lobby in the United States of America, which gives them lots of money to run for office. And as a result, they will express their thoughts and prayers, their concern, their outrage at the shock and horror of what took place in Uvalde, or what took place in Buffalo, or what is going to take place in the next school, or next shopping mall, or next grocery store, or next church, or next synagogue. They'll express shock and outrage, and then they will vote not to do one thing about it. No one is suggesting that gun control legislation will stop all shootings. Guess what? We don't pass laws because they work 100% of the time. We pass laws to improve our situation, not to perfect it. And there's no doubt that gun control legislation that would have, forced this young man to go through a background check, might have caught something about, a criminal record, might have caught something about mental instability, and he might have been denied the right to own these guns, and those 19 kids today would most likely be alive. There's no doubt that that's true. There's no doubt that we could do something about it, but our politicians choose not to, because their primary loyalty is not to the American people. Their primary loyalty is not to, or their primary purpose is not to make things better in the United States. Their primary purpose is to hold on to power, and the National Rifle Association gives them money, which helps them get reelected, which helps them hold on to power, and they are not going to bite the hand that feeds them. In what we like to think of as our democracy, they are more loyal to this gun lobby group than they are to the American people, to their constituents, to their voters. All their pro-life bullshit is exactly that. They don't care. They care about power. And you can see that reflected in how they vote. The National Rifle Association, by the way, has grown into this nightmarish organization which primarily is supported by gun manufacturers who pump millions of dollars into it so that they will fight as hard as they possibly can to prevent any kind of gun legislation so gun manufacturers can sell as many guns to as many people and make as big a profit as they possibly can. Some of the National Rifle Association money actually comes from Russia. They've been proven to be a kind of money laundering source in which Russian oligarchs connected to Vladimir Putin and others have given money to the National Rifle Association, and that money has gone into the hands of American politicians, primarily on the right, but some on the left as well. The National Rifle Organization is a pernicious, evil organization which has no interest in the rights of Americans. It has an interest in protecting the gun manufacturers and their right to make profit. And the money they give to politicians is blood money. The blood of those children who died in Uvalde, the blood of the 10 people who died in Buffalo, the blood of hundreds, thousands of Americans who die because our politicians are so loyal to the National Rifle Association that they won't even do the basic things to protect us. The United States of America, we like to call ourselves the land of the free and the home of the brave. In our country, a child is more likely to die from a gunshot wound than anything else. That is not free, that is not brave, that is insanity.